A strange sound in your home at night is a signal. Someone invoked your name at midnight, but failed. Archangel Michael says, "Do not ignore what you heard last night. That strange noise was not a random creak or the wind outside your window. It was the aftershock of a spiritual event that attempted to drag your name into something dark, but failed." The silence that followed wasn't peace, it was a hidden retreat. Someone, far from your home, lit a candle in the name of deception and envy, hoping their midnight ritual would shake your ground. But what they did not expect was the fire around your spirit. Heaven intercepted their intention. The ritual reached your walls, but not your soul. A divine firewall burned the energy before it could stick to your life. Archangel Michael says your name is protected in heavenly scrolls, and no evil tongue or spell can rewrite your destiny. They whispered your name at midnight, but the echo fell flat and disappeared into smoke. The strange sound in your home was the energy collapsing on itself. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Now listen closely, because this part of the message is critical. The person who attempted this is not a stranger. They've seen your face, spoken to you recently, and pretended to be concerned about your emotional well-being. Their sudden interest in your daily routine wasn't love, it was observation. Every gesture, every question, every compliment was a silent collection of spiritual data. They wanted to learn how to weaken your light without touching your body. But the force surrounding you is not ordinary. This person didn't calculate the depth of your divine protection. When they invoked your name at that hour, something in the room with them snapped. Type Amen to get blessing 777. A mirror cracked. A gust of cold wind entered their space from nowhere. Their own voice trembled as they repeated your name, and by the third time, they stopped. They had opened a gate they couldn't control. They saw a vision that frightened them, a fiery being standing behind you, holding a sword. That being was not from Earth. It was Archangel Michael guarding you as appointed. Comment Amen if this resonates with your spirit. This message is meant for those who felt something off lately but couldn't explain it. You weren't imagining it, your soul was signaling you all along. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The energy that tried to twist into your sleep was dismantled before it crossed your threshold. Your guardian slammed the door in the spirit realm. What was intended to drain your luck has now reversed into a flood of justice. From today onward, you may feel more tired than usual. That is not weakness, but restoration after a spiritual deflection. Your dreams might hold symbols of release, fire, wings, doors, keys. Pay attention. A battle occurred while you were sleeping. It was fierce but brief, and you didn't have to fight because heaven fought for you. Type Amen to get blessing 117. This isn't the first time your name has been spoken in secret circles. But this time, they were desperate and messy. They didn't ask for accuracy, they demanded access. But access was denied. The spiritual key they used belonged to someone else, someone connected to your past. The password failed because your soul has changed frequencies. Your house knows what happened. That's why the sound startled you. That's why you felt uneasy even if the night was calm on the outside. Type Amen to get blessing 223. They will try again. But now their confidence is broken. That moment when their voice cracked was when your spirit turned back and stared at them. Archangel Michael says the sword has been drawn, and the protection around you will now become visible to those who keep staring too long. They won't be able to explain why they avoid you, but they'll feel the pressure in their chest whenever they try to harm you again. You have not done anything wrong. Your light is simply too bright. And bright things expose hidden intentions in dark hearts. Type Amen to get blessing 448. There is a woman connected to this. She was not the one who lit the fire, but she handed the matchstick. Her grudge is long-standing, hidden behind forced smiles and just checking in messages. Do not reply to her for the next 7 days. Do not open long paragraphs from unknown numbers. Silence is your shield right now. One of the spirits summoned on your name screamed back at them. What they tried to conjure up turned around and chased their own hand. The spiritual world operates on rules they did not respect. Type Amen to get blessing 519. The person is now scared. Their nights are filled with whispers, but not yours, only the ones they summoned. Their protection is gone. Your angels are laughing, not because this is funny, but because your enemies underestimated heaven again. They thought you were defenseless because you were quiet. They mistook stillness for absence. But your spirit roars in realms they cannot enter. You are not weak, you were just being watched, and heaven wanted to catch them in the act. Type Amen to get blessing 638. Now comes the season of evidence. Watch your phone. Watch the way certain people speak around you. Someone will slip, and it will be your confirmation. There will be confessions, not because they are sorry, but because they are afraid of what happens next. Some will suddenly compliment you. Others will withdraw completely. Both are signs of guilt. One tries to mask it. The other cannot face it. Type Amen to get blessing 702. Your house will feel lighter over the next few days. That's because Archangel Michael has swept through every corner, casting out residues of that failed attempt. Keep a light on tonight as a symbol of gratitude. You may also feel like crying randomly. It's not sadness. It's the release of what was never meant to enter your life. Your spirit is rejoicing because it remained untouched. Now you must focus on grounding yourself again. Take salt baths if possible. Avoid arguments. Someone may try to provoke you just to reopen a door that was sealed. Type Amen to get blessing 849. The one who called your name did not do so alone. They were in a room with 2 others, one watching, one laughing. But the moment your name was spoken, something outside that house howled. It was not a dog. It was not the wind. It was a warning to them that what they were doing had backfired already. They now face consequences that have nothing to do with your revenge. Heaven handles things beyond human imagination. And what was meant for you, now belongs to them. Type Amen to get blessing 904. Archangel Michael says a document they wrote about you will mysteriously vanish. Something they were preparing as proof to shame you will dissolve. A message will fail to deliver. Their phone may even malfunction when trying to send it. The frequency of your protection is interfering with technology. They are starting to realize, your name cannot be handled like everyone else's. You are marked by fire, sealed in sacred circles, covered by promises older than their intentions. Type Amen to get blessing 1033. The reason it happened now is because something great is coming. Before the light rises, shadows grow desperate. This was their last attempt before you cross into something bigger. They feared your next level more than your current peace. That's why they chose midnight, when most are asleep. But they didn't know that angels don't sleep. Your spiritual file was already upgraded, so their ritual used expired information. That's why it failed. Type Amen to get blessing 1121. You must remain vigilant. Do not allow anyone to bring arguments to your doorstep. Peace is not passive, it is a weapon in the right hands. Carry yourself with grace but walk with awareness. There are people smiling at you whose dreams are haunted by your angel. They'll pretend not to be afraid, but their actions will change. You may be called cold or distant soon. That's okay. Distance is divine. Type Amen to get blessing 1259. If you saw birds unusually active that night, it was a sign. If the air felt heavier for a moment, that was spiritual tension. Your body knows even when your mind cannot process it. Your crown is intact. Your name is clean. The evil they tried to plant failed to take root. Comment, it failed, below if you felt something break last night. Some of you may have had dreams of fire, broken glass, or sudden falling. These were symbols of interference being destroyed. Type Amen to get blessing 1390. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. You are stepping into a new month guarded by divine fire. They won't try this way again. But be prepared. When one route is blocked, the desperate seek another. The difference now is that you've been warned. You're no longer walking unaware. You are aligned with truth. Type Amen to get blessing 1444. And remember, Archangel Michael says, you are not alone in this season. That sound you heard was not just noise, it was your spirit warning you of victory in progress. The failed invocation is proof that heaven watches over you even when you sleep. Their next attempt will be even weaker, because their fear is growing. And your spirit? It's becoming untouchable. Now that the first attempt has failed, do not underestimate the stubbornness of those who dabble in darkness. They often mistake delay for permission, and they will search for other ways to breach your protection. But they will not find it easy, not with the veil that now surrounds you. They've been warned in dreams. Their health will start to show signs of spiritual backlash. A shadow that follows them will no longer hide its face. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. They will not confess publicly, but their behavior will shift drastically. One may block you randomly, another may try to reappear with fake warmth. You don't need to respond. You don't need to defend yourself. The truth is already in motion and is being whispered in places you cannot hear yet. They're losing alliances. People they trusted are quietly stepping away. Those people have sensed the curse that backfired and don't want to be collateral. Type Amen to get blessing 1601. There is an item in your room that absorbed some of the attempted energy. It may feel colder than usual or suddenly shift position. Clean it or discard it if it feels strange, especially mirrors or gifts from unknown hands. You may feel the need to rearrange things in your space. Follow that urge. Your spirit knows when energy needs shifting. The room where the sound occurred holds the remnants of divine victory. It is now sacred ground, charged with the echo of protection. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. Someone who once ignored you will now begin to defend your name in private. They won't admit it to your face. But your name has started vibrating differently in their ears. The very ones who joined in gossip will now say, "Leave that one alone." They won't be able to explain why. They'll just feel something cold wrap around their throat every time they try. Their mouths are no longer welcome to speak your name. What was meant to shame you is now covered in a veil of reverence. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. Do not speak of this to too many people. Some will not understand. Others will pretend to understand, just to get more details. Let this be your private miracle. You were watched over while unaware. That is more than magic. That is divine mercy. This battle wasn't just about you. It was about your bloodline. The attempt was to halt generational progress. But now, because of your obedience, your entire lineage has been uplifted. Type Amen to get blessing 1922. Someone younger in your family will suddenly gain confidence or breakthrough in their career. That's the ripple of your victory. Someone older may suddenly feel at peace. They were unknowingly carrying part of the curse meant for you. The spellcaster didn't understand lineage. They didn't realize that touching you meant affecting more than one soul. Their actions now carry consequences across time. They must answer to the realm they disturbed. And that realm does not accept apologies. It demands balance. Type Amen to get blessing 2001 Yule. Notice animals behaving differently around you. Cats, dogs, birds. They sense what just happened. Some will avoid your doorstep in fear. Others will sit near you in awe. You may have already seen feathers, coins, or patterns in the sky. These are confirmations. You're walking under a covering that few can perceive. Archangel Michael says, every sound you hear moving forward will now come with revelation. The clicks, the whispers, the knocks. Pay attention, but do not fear. Type Amen to get blessing 2112. A man who once used you emotionally is about to face an unseen wall. He laughed behind closed doors, mocking your prayers. But he didn't know your prayers had ears. He has tried to reconnect through dreams. He's appeared in visions, thinking he can still pull your energy. But heaven has locked the gate he once freely walked through. You are no longer accessible through memory. Your energy now responds only to the divine. His access was revoked the moment your name was spoken with ill intent. Type Amen to get blessing 2233. The strange sound in your house was not a threat. It was the sound of a failing enemy collapsing spiritually. Their ritual ended with more fear than power. They called your name expecting submission. Instead, they triggered your transformation. Their plan was spiritual vandalism. But heaven restored the broken pieces before the damage even began. They didn't just fail, they exposed themselves in the process. Your name echoed back to them like thunder. They will never speak it again without trembling. Type Amen to get blessing 2344. Now watch what happens around your workplace or daily environment. People who were once cold will begin warming up to you. Not because they've changed, but because your aura now commands more than respect. It demands reverence. You'll be offered an opportunity soon. It will seem small, but it's the key to the next gate. Say yes, but move in silence. A relocation may also be hinted at. Trust the signs. When God closes one gate, it's because another dimension is waiting. Type Amen to get blessing 2444. You may feel drawn to certain numbers or times, especially those repeating sequences. That's your spirit syncing with heaven's frequency. The veil is thinner now. You'll hear your name when no one is around. You're not hallucinating. You're being acknowledged in the spirit realm. Archangel Michael says, keep a journal for the next 21 days. Write dreams, instincts, or sudden feelings. Heaven will speak to you in symbols before it speaks in words. Type Amen to get blessing 2555. A message that was meant to bring fear will accidentally uplift you. Someone will send you something, thinking it will ruin your day. But instead, it will unlock confirmation of what you've already survived. They didn't expect you to read between the lines. They forgot you're spiritually trained now. They can no longer toy with your emotions. Let them watch in silence as you rise. You own no explanations. The only conversation left is between them and divine justice. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. If you've been thinking of cleansing your home with oil, water, incense, or prayer, do it. You don't need to follow rituals. Just follow your spirit's instruction. That sound at midnight awakened more than your ears. It activated your next season. You've now been shifted into a realm where attacks bounce back instantly. You are not vulnerable. You are a mirror. What they throw reflects back multiplied. Type Amen to get blessing 2711. Soon, a family member will try to act confused, overly inquisitive, or strangely kind. Watch closely. This person was fed information by someone on the outside. Do not argue. Just smile and protect your peace. Your silence is a statement stronger than a scream. They may attempt emotional manipulation, but your discernment has grown too sharp to fall for old traps. You're not who you were last month. Type Amen to get blessing 2828. The wind will speak soon. You'll notice breezes moving unnaturally through closed spaces. Don't be afraid. It's heaven walking by. These are whispers of reward, not warnings of threat. Keep your posture calm and your heart open. The very person who tried to summon destruction on your name will now lose connections, income, or sleep. That is not your fault. That is the return of their own energy. Type Amen to get blessing 2911. You are entering a month where manifestations will speed up. The delay was spiritual interference. Now that it's broken, expect everything to move faster. You'll meet someone with answers you didn't even know you needed. This person will mention a door or light in the first conversation. That's your confirmation. Archangel Michael says the next knock on your door will not be evil, it will be opportunity. But do not let your guard down too soon. Discern the voice before opening your energy. Type Amen to get blessing 3033. Lastly, bless your sleep. Speak protection over it before you close your eyes. Your dreams are now a spiritual battleground where heaven plants instructions. You'll notice recurring symbols, snakes being cut, old doors closing, or you holding something glowing. These are your victories taking form. You were not attacked. You were tested. And now, your name holds fire. Type Amen to get blessing 3111. This message will not leave your spirit quickly. It wasn't just a story, it was a download. Share it only with those who are spiritually awake. And if the sound comes again, don't be afraid. It won't be evil returning. It will be heaven saying, look what you've survived. Look who you are now. You are no longer who you used to be before that night. Something inside you was unlocked as the dark intention failed to land. Your spiritual frequency ascended higher, making you inaccessible to the same level of manipulation. They wanted to bring you confusion, but all they brought was clarity. The noise that woke you up was not just sound, it was a crack in the realm of deception. Your soul was whispering, "Rise, something has been exposed." Type Amen to get blessing 3222. Your ancestors witnessed the attack and stood in front of you. Someone in your bloodline once battled the same type of spiritual sabotage, but they didn't have the protection you now carry. That's why you were chosen to break it. The strange sound wasn't just a warning, it was a victory bell. A shift occurred in your family's generational line. You have now become the turning point for those who will come after you. This means new responsibility, but it also means favor and visibility. You will be elevated in ways that frighten those who thought they buried you. Type Amen to get blessing 3339. The attempted invocation at midnight stirred heaven. Archangel Michael surrounded your bed with fire, and the swords of angels were drawn. You slept while a full spiritual war happened at your gate. And now? Now you walk under divine surveillance. Every step you take is monitored by beings that do not miss a single detail. Some people in your life may grow distant or uncomfortable. That's not rejection. It's spiritual pruning. God is making room for what belongs in your next chapter. Type Amen to get blessing 3441. Even the ground you walk on will respond differently now. You'll notice certain places feel heavy. Some shops, some rooms, some streets, they'll feel suffocating. Trust that feeling. Your spirit is now too sensitive to tolerate corrupted energies. What once felt normal now feels wrong, because your discernment has been upgraded. This is the price of protection. You will no longer blend in with those who casually entertain darkness. Type Amen to get blessing 3555. You might also experience people confessing strange things to you. Random admissions, slip-ups, or awkward apologies. Do not be surprised, they are spiritually compelled to come clean. Someone will say something they think is small, but it will confirm everything you suspected. Don't confront them. Don't retaliate. Just acknowledge that your angels made them speak. Your silence will now cause discomfort to those who try to manipulate your voice. Type Amen to get blessing 3666. The time around 12 a.m. and 3 a.m. is now sacred for you. That window is when most hidden spiritual activity attempts to stir. But in your case, it's now the hour of angelic reinforcements. If you feel pulled awake during that time, speak no fear. Just sit quietly. That stillness is where you'll receive divine downloads, instructions, and protection assignments. You may even hear your name whispered lovingly. That's not imagination. That's confirmation. Type Amen to get blessing 3733. They used your name to activate harm. But instead, your name activated the heavens. That's why things are now aligning, not falling apart. You'll get unexpected favors, discounts, approvals, invitations, and breakthroughs that make no sense logically. That's the ripple effect of divine intervention. The door they tried to shut is now swinging wide open, and you don't even need to push it. Type Amen to get blessing 3888. An object connected to this curse is still in possession of the one who tried to harm you. A photo, a copy of your signature, a piece of your name. They will soon lose it, or it will be destroyed. That's when their connection to your energy will fully break. After that, you'll feel a sudden rush of peace for no reason. Celebrate it. That will be your confirmation that the last piece of that attack has shattered. They won't be able to reach you anymore. Type Amen to get blessing 3991. A male figure connected to this may suddenly fall ill, lose sleep, or face a breakdown in relationships. Do not be alarmed. That's spiritual accountability, not revenge. The spirit realm is fair. When someone crosses boundaries using manipulation, they owe a debt they weren't ready to pay. You may hear of this through gossip, or by chance. Just nod and remain silent. The universe knows how to handle its own justice. Type Amen to get blessing 4040. You are now spiritually marked, not for harm, but for purpose. The strange sound that night was the signal that your life's path has been recalibrated. Things may feel unfamiliar for a while. Emotions may fluctuate, but every vibration, every shift, every nudge is preparing you for elevation. Archangel Michael says, your spiritual signature has been rewritten. It now carries more weight, more light, and more authority. Type Amen to get blessing 4144. The ones who once saw you as fragile will now wonder how you became unshakable. Some will test your boundaries again. But this time, their attempts will feel like weak winds against a mountain. That's the power of a soul freshly protected. And remember, this was not the end. It was the beginning of your reign. The darkness thought you were asleep, but heaven saw you were ready. Type Amen to get blessing 4222. Your words will now carry weight. Be mindful what you say about others. Even casual words will begin to shape atmospheres. Because your tongue is now aligned with spirit. Speak healing. Speak truth. Speak victory. Let no bitterness take root. There is too much destiny waiting for you. And now that heaven has fought for you, walk like someone who was preserved for a reason. Type Amen to get blessing 4311. That sound was a warning, but also a declaration. It said, this soul is not to be touched. And the entire realm heard it. You're about to be invited to spaces you once only dreamed of. Your name will be spoken in honor, not harm. And the ones who once tried to control your narrative will now be silenced. Not by you, but by divine justice. Type Amen to get blessing 4444. Your protection will now manifest in 3 areas: health, finances, and peace of mind. Any curse spoken to affect your body will reverse. Any energy sent to drain your money will evaporate. And your mind will feel clearer than it has in years. That's what happens when an attempted attack turns into a divine shield. You are more than safe. You are chosen. They invoked your name at midnight, but they failed. You rose. Type Amen to get blessing 4545.